Set and setting, in my apartment, on my usual Thursday evening, having nothing to do on Friday except catching enough sleep to be able to go to work at 2100 hours for a 12 hours night shift. I just got over a cold that lasted a good week, taking 2 cetirizine/pseudoephedrine, 5/100ths of a milligram, tablets for my more than usual clogged nose/sinuses and 2 to 3 grams of paracetamol daily for the accompanying nasty headache. I was very anticipating this trip, because I hadn't decently tripped for what must have been over a year. I did do some heavy ketamine doses a few weeks prior and a couple of totally not worth it or bunk RCs. Substances: 2C-B fly, 9 mg. 4-ACO DMT, 24 mg. The 2C-B fly was ordered from an online vendor. This was my first time ordering from them. Careful allergy/dose testing was done the day before, ruling out the possibility of it actually being Bromo dragonfly. The product came in yellow, lightly white speckled round pellets, about 6 mm in diameter and 2 to 3 mm height, weighing 170 mg. One side had a breaking line, on the other side was a stamp 10, the reported amount of active material being 10 mg. T-24 hours, I crushed the pellet between 2 spoons, put aside a tiny chunk of about 1 by 1 by 1 mm in size, what must have been approximately 2 mg in weight, estimated to be 118 micrograms of active material. If it would have been Bromo dragonfly, I would be on the safe side whilst being able to detect any activity if present. I ate the chunk, which tasted a tiny bit bitter. No apparent activity was noticed in the next 12 hours. T-12 hours, at my second dose test I put a chunk of what would have been 1/10 to 1 th/20 th the size of the whole pellet, let dissolve for a minute under my tongue and swallowed. Active material would then be in the range of 500 to 1000 micrograms. Again, no effects were noticed during the entire day. I had normal meals in the morning and at noon, abstaining from food for the rest of the day, last meal being at T-7 hours. As for the ACO DMT, coming from the same vendor, I made a 100 ml solution of 2.5 mg/ml in demineralized water/ethanol in a 70-30 ratio. The small tan crystals didn't seem to dissolve in ethanol itself, but dissolved clear into the H2O/ethanol mix with a bit of stirring. The solution was put in an amber glass bottle and stored in the fridge. I didn't use any of the solution that day, because I wanted to determine if the crystals would precipitate when the solution was cooled. Note that I did not test this chemical prior to dosing, nor had I ever taken it before. I know. Timeline. T+0:00, 1900 hours. I ate the rest of the crushed up pellet I used for allergy/dose testing, washing down with some water. My other half and I then start watching a TV series called Once Upon a Time. T+1:00. I'm starting to feel a little euphoria coming up. T+3:50. From time of ingestion up to this point, all I really noticed was a slight build-up of physical and mental euphoria that reminded me a lot of the first effects felt on MDMA, although I might have been steered into this thought from reading the whole BLB and D2C-B fly thread over the past days. I can however not describe it in a better way than that. I did, in contrast to MDMA, feel mildly sedated, rather wanting to sit down in the couch than move around. I didn't expect any further developments in effects. I even found they started to slope down, so I got up and cooked up my 4-ACO DMT elixir. As stated above, I didn't ingest any of the solution, but instead I measured out another 24 mg for the trip. T+4:30, T+0:40 for the 4-ACO DMT. Finally, that's what came to mind when I noticed movement in the corner of my sight. When I turned my head to read the clock, I realized there was much more to perceive than just the corners of my eye, but because I had my focus on the TV, I didn't notice that. I remember the lights in the living room were dimmed, and looking away from the TV brought up light, mildly flowing and colorful or as around objects. Not very distinct, but they were definitely there. Recognizing this effect from the come up from past mushroom experiences, I was so happy that I finally would have a longed-for trip. It instantly boosted my euphoria by tenfold. I have these ceiling lamps that shine stripes and patterns all over the ceiling when closed, and the patterns started to slightly wave. I felt some nervousness setting in, a familiar feeling for me when coming up on mushrooms, however it didn't bother me and was easily ignored by watching TV. The unwillingly rubbing my feet thing was also present. T+5:00, T+1:10 for the 4-ACO DMT. Me and my other half decide to go smoke a cigarette. It was then I really noticed the body high of this compound. My legs and body felt heavy and light at the same time. I mean, they felt heavy, but were easy to move. While smoking our cigarette, I couldn't help but laughing and giggling the entire time. Also very reminiscent of mushrooms. I couldn't stand still because I wanted to explore the heavy/lightweight body feeling. It was fun and, being a person that likes to do silly things and laugh, I made myself laugh, my other half asking me amusingly if I was doing okay. She knows how I act like when I am on mushrooms. I equally amusingly gave her a positive reply, don't know if that's even a correct English sentence. I knew she was already getting a bit tired, so I suggested we plunge in the couch and watch some more TV. T+5:30, T+1:40. I must note that I felt subtle empathy for the characters on TV, which I have a lot when watching movies/series when on mushrooms. I vividly remember this one time I watched the movie Hook while on a 5 grams extract of mushrooms. I was actually feeling as if I were Peter Pan himself. That was a really real experience and took me some time to readjust to reality. When the end credits rolled over the TV, my wife fell asleep after some time, so I put on another TV show, Mythbusters. Not really tripping material, but it's a good laugh. T+6:15, T+2:25. The internal dialogue rises whenever I go to smoke a cigarette. Getting away from TV set this in motion every time. I guess not having the visual input/mental focus material might be the reason for this. I couldn't really hold a thought for very long, for that thought itself set another dialogue in motion, which quickly went to another subject and then another and another. T+8:00, T+4:10. I'm getting down to baseline and feel a little nauseous/hungry. I can't really tell them apart, so I decide to have something to eat. Noting to myself that I haven't eaten anything in the last 15 hours, the idea of food appeals me. Some soup and leftover pizza happily relieves me from the nausea. Chewing and swallowing the pizza requires some effort, so I stick to the soup. Half an hour later I went to bed. I had no trouble sleeping and woke up around 1600 hours, feeling well rested and in a good mood. In retrospect, I don't really see this trip as a combo of 2C-B fly and 4-ACO DMT, but merely as a test run on the former and a good plus experience of the latter. I didn't have any visuals whatsoever from the 2C-B fly, just a feeling of tranquility and euphoria, and barely noticed anything of it at the moment I took the 4-ACO DMT. So next time I'm going to jump in the 2C-B fly at 15 mg with a booster of 5 mg if needed. Though, knowing myself, I will probably do the 20 mg in one go. My next 4-ACO DMT dose will be at 30 to 35 mg I reckon. I think I wasted a good deal of my trips just watching movies. That's one thing I learned from this experience. I should be more active when tripping, or at least not watch TV. Movies can be great on psychedelics, I don't doubt that, but I still feel I can get more out of my drugs when I get out of the couch once in a while. This thought has come up more than once before, usually at or after the come down of a trip. Another thing I regret is not having tripped in the daytime or outside for like over 2 years now. And lastly, company is a great trip enhancer. For some years now I do most, if not all, of my trips alone, on Thursday nights, this being related to my work schedule mentioned earlier. I miss a co-tripper, or at least a sitter I can interact with, that's for sure. Writing this TR, it really is my first decent one, made me actually reflect on and think about what happened, so hopefully I will keep myself to continue writing TRs in the future. Myself, male, 32 years, 73 kilograms, in good health except my clogged forever nose. Lots of experience with mushrooms, MDMA, albeit my heavy uses more than 10 years ago, ex-pothead, thanks to my current wife for pulling me out of that misery, some crack cocaine, ketamine, LSD/LSC/1P-LSD/Al-Lad, a minority of experiences with Salvia divinorum, AMT, 2C-B, 5-Mayudalt, BK2CB, diclazepam, flubramazepam, MPA, nitrous, 3-Mayupikmo, ephenidine, MXC. Also did some speed and heroin back in the days, but have since long lost my interest in these. I may forget a couple of substances, but those will be insignificant experience-wise.